Welcome everyone for a new weekly recap. And today, we are going to start a new mesocycle. So that's fun. I'm really excited about that. Let me show you right away what happened last week because last week was reactivation week, as you may remember, like this. So we got a decent number. I've been able to hit all the goal in the gym that I wanted, mainly the 150, 100, and 190 on squat, bench, and deadlift. So that was just to reactivate my body because my max, as you see, is 160, 120, 200. So that's actually what this week is going to be about. I'm going to attempt 160, up 120, and 200. I don't know, because maybe with the week off that I took, the reactivation week last week, maybe I don't have that in me already, but we'll get there. And the goal is by the end of this mesocycle, if I could get somewhere close to 170, 130, and 210, that would be great. But as I told you in the past, I try to stop putting goals on myself, because otherwise I'm just stressing myself out to get things done, where actually just either my body can or I can't. It's not a question of will. It's just I'm working hard in the gym, and if my body adapts well, I will be able to. If it doesn't adapt well, I will not be able to. So that's just completely out of my control. What is in my control, though, is putting the work. So that's kind of, but I still believe that this week I have it, because those wasn't that hard. The 190 was slightly hard, but maybe I can push 200. I don't know, but that, because that's close to my max anyway. We'll see about that. And today, and on the speed side, we start getting some very interesting stuff, because I was not disappointed, but because I enjoyed myself, I went on to do normally this week was a 116 week here. But since I enjoyed my back, I did only one session during that week, and I actually reached the 116 average for the session. But it was really I wasn't really comfortable. Where was it? 1, 2, 3 here. 17.7. Here we go. So this week is about 116. So that's going to be fun, because you remember that when I have all of those goals here are the minimum average for the session that I'm allowing myself to have. So when I say 116, what I mean is on the practice range, I need to go for 117 on every session. Attempt 117 to make sure my average get above 116. And so that's mainly that. But I think that's be fine. Honestly, I think this mesocycle overall, I mean, 116, okay. 170 is going to be hard. 180 is going to be brutal. Probably. I mean, maybe, I don't know how well, because I also need to see how well I respond with the gym, because as you saw last week, we started introducing some power exercise and so on. Even though I'm not using it that much to really build my power and speed, maybe they can help. That's for sure. Maybe they can help. So, yeah, and where it's going, I mean, it's just that each time, you remember probably early on in the year, here, and here, each time I had those goals, it's like, okay, well, so I can do it, but it's going to be hard. I can do it, but it's going to be hard. That's exactly how I feel at that moment. But and here's the deal. Until now, it was kind of numbers that I knew I could eat if I really want to. 16, 116, 117, I can if I really want to, yeah. 118 is borderline, and what is really kind of not stressing me out, but getting me a little bit excited, is the next mesocycle. Because 118, okay, maybe I can. 119, I'm not sure I can. 120 average for the session, so it means I need to go for 121. I mean, something gonna have to happen in the gym. I'm gonna have to get stronger. I'm gonna have to figure out some stuff in the swing. I mean, those two here, 119, 120, are going to be the first real session where I really need to give it my all to reach. But that's okay because see, after that, I kind of have 3 weeks of relatively deload. So I just need to find a way to get it done. Then let my body recover for about 3 weeks and then come back and do it again. Do it again, but since I will have spent a little bit of time recovering, stabilizing my strength, gaining power, and so on, then this one should feel much more easy, and we should have maybe, I don't know if we will have a 125 max, but I would really want to get close to that because after having done a 120 for a session, like coming back to 118, 119 shouldn't be that hard. Then come back to the 120, okay, I already done it, I can do it. And then this is the end, the two last mesocycle, rushing to the goal of 130, 125 average for the session. And if I can do it, I have kind of a few weeks left until the end of the year to kind of push through. I've added 3 weeks in case I didn't really reach it at that point, but I have kind of another 4 weeks after that if I absolutely need to. But that's funny that since we are already we are at the halfway point of the year, now things start getting real. We start getting to the meat of what I was training for. We escaped the beginning stage, and now we are getting into the dirty stage. I mean, not yet. Starting next mesocycle. I mean, just the two mesocycles that are coming are going to be extremely important. I'm really excited because the challenge is rising. I don't think there is much to say though, because on the training side, even if I have put max strength, here's the deal. First, I want to reach those strength goal of 180, 140, 220 before focusing on max strength and power. So even though I've put max strength, I haven't really reached the goal at which I want to start focusing on max strength. So I might delay that. I don't know, because see, max strength, the way it differ compared to what I'm doing already. So full depth squat, full depth deadlift. Just full deadlift and bench. To work on max strength, you want to work on the range of motion where you are the strongest. And even if with the deadlift, I'm doing it a little with the partial deadlift, with the squat, I'm not doing it because for the squat, what you want to do is just do quarter squat or even 1/8 of a squat. And just do a little, you go down slightly and get back up. And you can push really, really, really heavy with that. I think at the moment, if I really wanted to do it right now, I could do like 220 probably at the moment already with partial squat, and that's going to be something that's really going to push the maximum. Because see, the closer you get in a periodized plan, the closer you get to the end goal, the more specific you want your training to be. And so full depth squat and full depth bench are not very specific to golf. What I mean by that is, in golf, the golf posture, the knee rarely bends more than like 20 degrees or something. I mean, I'm not bending my legs that much. I'm not more than a quarter squat. That's what I want to say. So in order to generate max strength at that range of motion, I need to work max strength at that range of motion. And same for the bench. In the golf swing, my arm stays relatively extended, even though my right arm is bending a little on the backswing. That's not something I want, but I mean, I need to really work on that max strength in the range of motion where I'm the strongest. That's something I haven't really I tried it, but it felt weird. So maybe it was because I was kind of in close grip, maybe with a wider grip. I can't get into maybe the upper part of the motion is going to be but I'm going to be stronger. I don't know. That's something I need to explore. But anyway, so that's what I want to say. The closer I'm getting to those here, the more specific toward what I'm trying to achieve I need to be. That's why I need to focus more on power development. And that's something, even though I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put power and strength. I mean, I don't want to change that because that was kind of the initial plan. So that's good to see how I went about it in my mind. But what I'm thinking is probably if I had to do it over, this is going to be kind of max power and strength somewhere here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. So max power and strength here. Here, that's just strength work. It's just strength work here. Strength, and same here. Strength. Then somewhat of a deload, then max strength and power, because once I reach those goals of 120 or those goals, I'm going to start focusing on power as well, but more specifically because here, even though I start doing some power exercise, it's just to learn the technique, get into a routine of doing them. I'm not going that hard with them. I just want to get into the rhythm of doing them. And I think I will not reach my peak performance in max until power and we can probably do finish power and speed probably on this mesocycle, just and maybe the very last one is going to be kind of just purely speed oriented. Maybe that's that. I don't know. I don't really know. I think the way it's going to look like is probably something like that. Here I still need to work on strengths and start and power technique. And power technique. So I start working on the technique and so on. Yep. I think that some things things of at the end are going to look like that. And see, it's not that I was wrong. It's just that building an annual plan is a very hard skill, and that's something you need to learn over time. And so that on the left, that was what I was thinking when I told the year. So that was my best guess. That's difficult to plan an entire year from the get-go, especially because that was the first time I was doing it. And so I learned from what I've done and how I felt and what the adjustments that I had to do. So that's really what that's why I don't want to change what's on the left here. I just want to record what I've done and what actually happened. And so then next year I can come back to it and say, okay, this is how I felt. This is the thing that I think weren't really great and so on. So I need to kind of adapt for that. Also, see, I'm putting, because here I could just start working on max strengths and not really focus, but I've put those goals here, and the reason why I rather focus on those goals rather than moving directly for max strength is because I kind of know that those strength goals are kind of the minimum that I need to get in order for me to reach my goal of 130. I think that's just it. That I need that, because then, see, the stronger you are with full motion, the higher your max strength is going to be. And so if I just stop right there where I am and I just start working on max strength, I'm going to have a limit. So yeah, it's just that I'd rather keep the intensity moderate here and really focus on intensity when I get back after these 3 weeks of kind of deload. I think that's much better. But yeah, we'll see about that, because I mean, I will get as close as I possibly can to those goals. If I don't get those, I think I will move forward anyway, because yeah, the rest of the year need to be pure power and speed oriented. Otherwise, I will not. I don't know. I don't know. I know that's the deal. I don't know if the main factor for me to reach my goal is going to be power and speed or pure strength. Because until now, I've increased my strength steadily and gain speed steadily. So that's really what I want. I still want to focus on. As long as I don't have kind of diminishing return in terms of strength, in terms of gain. I mean, I'm start having some diminishing return because simply I'm gaining strength at a slower pace. So therefore, I'm not getting that much gain in terms of speed. But since I'm starting introducing power work into it, I see that could compensate. Okay, I start getting slower and slower strength gain, but since I'm introducing some power exercise, that might allow me to still get that steady speed gain while having diminishing returns on the strength, and because I'm actually start introducing power exercise. Just yeah, that's my thoughts. It's like that's almost an art, to be honest, to plan this program and really tweak every detail here. And that's where you realize that good coaches are worth their while for sure. Anyway, that was just it. So yeah, I'm just excited by the challenge that are ahead, because until now it was kind of, I had some goal, but there was kind of not easy, but not that hard to hit. And here we start entering to the part of the year where, yeah, I need to become serious. For instance, with the speed stick, for instance, until now, and even with the driver, I was kind of switching my technique and so on, not really caring of is that affect my speed? That's okay, because I can actually, even with the change technique, I was able to hit my goals. Where here we start entering to a phase where if I change my technique too much, that will affect my speed too much and I won't be able to reach my goal. So that's also going to force me to stick with my technique, make very little change, and maybe extend a lot more my warm-up phase, because at some point we have reduced the volume of ball and we are doing like 20 or 30 ball before actually doing the speed part, where here I might go as far as 50 ball, maybe even 70 or even 100 ball, just to get my body ready, both technically and in terms of muscle fiber activation. So then when I go on to do the speed stick and the speed part of the training, I'm fully ready to do so. So that's also the key things that are going to change. I'm going maybe to spend a lot more time warming up, getting my technique right and so on. So then when I hit the speed stick, I can go all in and really push. And actually that's something I've put here. Let me show you. With the, I kind of wanted to see, because now, see, for all that part, I kind of didn't really go that hard on the speed stick. It was just about creating the synergy between my driver and the speed stick and just getting into the groove of it. But now I need to kind of start pushing my boundaries, trying to get faster with the speed stick. And so that's why I kind of recorded my best speed ever. So I know, so when I'm training, I can say, okay, this is what we have, the best we had so far. And so let's try to make a new personal best or get as close to the personal best that we've already got. So where here it was just kind of practicing the technique and so on. After, well, now that I'm starting the next middle cycle, is going to be mainly about trying to push my speed boundaries and so on. So that's also why I think I can actually pull off the 120 average for the session, is because until now I haven't really used the speed stick the way I need to use them, and so I didn't got much benefit of it. A little benefit, don't get me wrong, but I think if I really start pushing the speed stick hard, that's gonna help. But here's the deal: before, if I just started and pushed the speed stick hard right from the get-go, I wouldn't have this synergy between my driver and the speed stick. Now I think I have it, because each time I swing the speed stick, it's like my driver here, it gets kind of not this one, but it's kind of getting in between the red stick, which is the heavier one, and the blue stick, which make complete sense because the red one is slightly heavier than my driver and the blue one is slightly lighter than my driver. So in terms of raw speed, given the weight, my driver should be right in between those. And so I just need to keep pushing the speed stick and then apply that to the driver. And because my personal best on the red stick was 121, so it means that if I'm able to get over that with the driver, it means that I'm going to be able to just with the speed stick. Because when I'm doing the session, what I see in general is kind of I'm getting I'm able to not cruise, but almost all my drive above the red stick, at least the average of the red stick. And so if I get like an average 120, 121 with the red stick, it means that I will be averaging 122, 123 with the driver, which is insane. So yeah, I think it's time I start actually taking the speed stick a little more seriously, going a little harder at it as well. But this is where I need to be careful, because see, the speed stick is very strenuous on the nervous system, and I'm already working the nervous system very hard with the strength side. So that's where it's really, I need to be careful, because last middle cycle I almost burned out again because I was doing too much. And so that's where I need to be very careful to not overstretch myself. And even now I'm thinking about that, I start even thinking that maybe I should not use. I mean, I should go hard on the specific, but maybe not too hard, because if I go too hard, then this is going to get more difficult for me to reach my strength goal. So maybe the speed stick or the same of the power technique that I'm working at the moment at the gym. Maybe the speed stick is going to come handy later on. Yeah, maybe this is that. Maybe I just need to let the strength take care of gaining speed with the speed stick. I'm going to try to get as close to my max as possible, but not necessarily trying to actually beat my max at every session. I'm going to keep that for later. Just try to get as close as possible to my max and let my strength increase my speed with the speed stick. So then later, when I drop off the heavy stuff in the gym that are very tiring for my nervous system, I can focus 100% of my effort on power and speed and have the time of recovery that I need in order to get faster and faster. Yeah, I think that's smarter. Just until now, I wasn't focused on speed at all with the speed stick. I was just doing it and see what happened. Now I'm not going to try. Yeah, that's 3 steps. First step I've done. Just generate synergy between the speed stick and the driver, not necessarily focus on the speed I'm generating. Now I'm going to slightly focus on speed I'm generating, but not trying to push my boundaries, just trying to get as close as possible to my max that I've already done, and just let my strength, the magic of the speed stick and the fact that I'm getting strength in the gym just slightly increase that speed over time. And then for the final push of the year, I will actively seek to push the boundary with the speed stick. But since I will be stronger, probably I will be able to get way faster. And now I'm thinking about if I reach, because in the past I've reached 121 with the red without, while being a lot less strong than I am at the moment, and that I will be. So if I reach my goal of being as strong as I want to be, I think 125 with the red might be possible, which means 125 average for the session with the driver will be in play. I mean, I'm saying that like I didn't thought I could actually reach my goal of 125 by the end of the 125 average and 130 for the max. But it just, I put my goal, my mind to it. I've set my mind to that goal, and I know, okay, maybe I can. But now it's way more than just a maybe. It's like, okay, I actually have a shot to reach my goal. I actually can pull it off. It starts becoming real, and I start grasping how I can actually make it happen. Because I have this weird tendency. I set goals for myself that I almost think are impossible, subconsciously. But consciously, I think, okay, but maybe I can. And that's because if I think something completely impossible, okay, I will not go for it. But if this is okay, that seems impossible, but maybe I can do it. As long as I have the maybe, I'm going for it. That's a little bit how crazy I am, because generally people, when you are going for a goal, you need to think, okay, I can do it. Yeah, I think. Well, me, it's completely the opposite in my mind. It's like, if a goal doesn't seem impossible, it's not challenging enough. I want something to feel impossible and go after it anyway. And so that was, 130. The 130 goal was kind of a goal that felt impossible. But I mean, I see other guys. I see Rory swinging 130. I mean, yeah, it just, that's why it feels with my current state. I mean, especially at the beginning of the year, felt like, okay, that's really insane. I mean, going for that goal, I'm swinging 110 at the beginning of the year. It means I'm going to have to gain 20 miles per hour in just 1 year. That's insane. But on the other side, I mean, there is a lot of players that are doing it. So I just need to figure out the right thing to do in order to get things done. And so far, we've did a pretty good job. We've did a pretty good job. Yeah. Anyway, it's just that, I start grasping the fact that I'm going to pull that off. I'm pretty happy and excited about it. I can't wait to get there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.